Donald Trump, who served as the 45th President of the United States, became a global focus during his presidency due to numerous controversial policies and actions. The measures taken during his administration raised questions not only within the U.S., but also worldwide about whether these actions violated public rights and individual freedoms. This article examines some of the key policies of the Trump administration and their effects on the public. 1. Immigration policy and border measures. One of the most criticized policies of the Trump administration was its strict immigration approach. Under this policy, harsh measures were taken against illegal immigrants. A plan to build a wall along the Mexico border was initiated, aiming to prevent unauthorized entry. Many families were separated, particularly children from their parents. These actions negatively impacted thousands of families, and human rights observers considered them serious violations of human rights. 2. Policing and racial issues. During Trump's presidency, policing and racial justice remained tense topics. In particular, Trump often failed to take a strong stance against police brutality targeting the African American community, and critics argue that his approach did not address allegations of racial bias. During the Black Lives Matter movement, the administration's strict response to protests caused further division among the public. These measures were seen as evidence that, in some cases, the government failed to uphold public freedoms and the right to protest. 3. Environmental and public health measures. The Trump administration also eased environmental regulations affecting public health. The withdrawal from international agreements on climate change, such as the Paris Agreement, weakened environmental protections. Industries were exempted from some environmental regulations, resulting in increased air and water pollution. In the health sector, especially during the COVID-19 pandemic, the government's policies faced heavy criticism. Trump's actions and responses made it difficult to control the spread of the virus, directly impacting public lives. 4. Press freedom and freedom of speech. The Trump administration posed several challenges to press freedom and freedom of expression. The government repeatedly criticized the media, labeling it as fake news. Allegations of pressure on reporters and journalists, particularly those covering policies critical of the government, increased. These actions affected social transparency and public trust, raising concerns in many quarters that freedom of public opinion was being restricted. 5. Economic policies and the public. Trump's economic policies, including tax reforms, were sometimes beneficial to certain classes, but were considered harmful to public welfare in other instances. Tax reforms primarily benefited the wealthy, while benefits for middle and lower income groups were limited. Weakening certain healthcare laws, particularly changes to Obamacare, affected the general public's access to healthcare. According to critics, these measures increased social inequality and harmed public interest. 6. Impact on courts and democratic institutions. During his term, Trump attempted to influence the judiciary and other democratic institutions, raising concerns, allegations of political interference in the appointment of federal judges, attempts to challenge election results, raising questions about the democratic rights of citizens. These actions indicate that some government measures could undermine public trust and put pressure on judicial independence. The Trump administration's actions consistently sparked public criticism and debate. Supporters argue that these measures were necessary for national security, economic growth, and law and order. However, critics claim that they posed risks to human rights, democratic freedoms, and public welfare. Criticism of Trump's actions also appeared in reports by human rights monitoring organizations, journalists, and social activists. Understanding their impact on the public requires reliance on balanced and verified information, evaluating political statements and claims in the context of facts,